Also let in a few in the Premier League as Hawi is penalised for the challenge on Mouassa. Mouassa just about got the ball down before Hawi arrived. And Colin Dagba looks to have possibly a longer-term problem here. It was that earlier challenge from Malacia. Malacia got to the ball first, but it was the follow-through with the studs of the left boot which caught Dagba. Sylvain Ripoll will be hoping he's not forced into a very early change. Pierre Kalulu would be one of the potential options. Dagba will be heading off for now at least. Stengs returning the ball to Meslier. Good crowd building inside this arena on the outskirts of Budapest. Honvéd are yet to play in this. It was open for the group stage of the Under-21 Championship. They will play their first game here as part of their pre-season before the Hungarian League kicks off at the end of July. It replaced the old Božič Stadium, which was the venue for so many great days for Honvéd. Hawi's cross in, dealt with a high degree of comfort by Ilya Meslier. And the challenge on Soumare, who was too clever initially and then was brought down rather crudely. And the game's first yellow card is shown to Danny de Wit. This was Hawi's earlier ball into the area, looking for Myron Boadu. And de Wit receiving the yellow card, and no complaints from the Netherlands playmaker. Well, Soumare just lingers before getting back to his feet. Here is the change. Colin Dagba's quarter-final comes to a very premature end. And it's Pierre Kalulu of Milan who comes up. And this is Kalulu's debut at this level. As the free kick is given for the challenge by Ikone. He and Botman had eyes on the ball, but there was just that shove out as Botman looked to win the header. Ikone, another player who has celebrated the French title alongside Sven Botman, the player he was challenging there with Lille. Konate finding Meslier. He's shown himself to be very accomplished with the ball at his feet in the English Premier League this season. Konate. Hawi tangling with Aouar, and France are just beginning to take a grip on proceedings. Schurz. Now Botman. The Dutch have been very strong at under-17 and under-19 level in recent years, and a number of these players have already tasted success in UEFA age group competitions. This is the Netherlands' first appearance in these finals since 2013. 3 failures in the group stage since. De Wit. Now Taizé. Interesting cross in, and it's gone behind for... Well, it did seem to go off Upamecano, but a goal kick has initially been given. Seemed to be first Kluivert, then Upamecano. Upamecano again. As France look to try and draw in the cover, then beat the press by going over the top of it, but here is Diaby. Now Kalulu. Yeah, Kalulu's brother Aldo has been a regular with Basel for the last couple of years, as Houssem Aouar is caught by Taizé. And the Dutch concede another free kick. Botman's clearance. Radu chasing, but here is Soumaré. Tchouaméni. Both these sides have enjoyed success in this competition previously. The Dutch had back-to-back victories in 2006 when they overcame the French in the semi-finals, and then went on to beat Ukraine 3-0 in the final. Aouar. Luas's cross. Oh, there's a mistake. And Ikone just unable to fasten onto it in time. Soumaré. Now Upamecano. The Netherlands were also victorious on home turf back in 2007. They overcame England 13-12 in a marathon penalty shootout in the semi-finals before making shorter work of Serbia in the gold medal game. Kluivert just levered off it by Upamecano. They have been 2 club mates this season. Kluivert spending the year with Leipzig on loan from Roma. So there are a number of players here who will be very familiar with their direct opponents. Aouar. Well defended by Taizé. Now De Wit has some time to manage that yellow card. Howie. Taizé. Stengs coming short. Kluivert makes the run in behind. The combination of Upamecano and Konate are able to clear. And the build-up to this tournament for Ibrahima Konate dominated by his move to Liverpool. Had an injury-hit season for Leipzig, started only 8 games in the Bundesliga. But he has a burgeoning reputation. Bouassa. Aouar. So once again, player who has won 2 UEFA titles with the younger French age groups. Stengs. De Wit. Kadagoglu. This is developing into a real game of cat and mouse, of course. We must have a winner here tonight with extra time and penalties if necessary. Stengs cutting inside and dragging the effort, but it was deflected. And the Dutch do have the game's first corner. And it's that pace of Calvin Stengs once he steps in field onto his left foot, which could give the Dutch plenty of joy in this game. Upamecano just sending the ball behind. Stengs and Kluivert looking to cook something up over the short corner. But it's Kluivert in the end who will deliver. As the bodies go tumbling, Upamecano looks to bring the ball clear, but Malacia dealt with that very well. Now De Wit. Malacia. Botman. Howie. There is very little pressure on the Dutch central defenders when they try and bring the ball out. Howie again is very deep, anchoring the midfield. Kalulu goes for the 1-2 from Soumare, but Malacia again very firm in the challenge. Boadu, Malacia continuing here, and it's pulled back to Stengs, smuggled away by Mawasa very close to the goal line. Stengs again, now Teze. And Stengs only picks out Chouameni. And the danger is repelled for now, but here is Botman. Malacia. Flicked on by Boadu, but just beyond Kluivert. But Tyrell Malacia will be a real feature for the Netherlands. Moving forward, did well there to initially rob Kalulu. Was allowed to continue, work the opening with Boadu. Cut back to Stengs, and Meslier may believe he had it covered, but Mawasa made sure. Mawasa took a chance, but here is Kone. Kalulu. And it's been a very even game so far, reflected in the possession stats early on. Soumare. Kone. He's done well to shrug off Kadagoglu and strike it, and that's a superb save from Bilal. Jonathan Okone does have that quality, and he almost produced it there. Strength initially and then real power, and that's an outstanding save from Justin Bilal. First corner for the French. Upamecano! Dayot Upamecano back in the side, and that's his first goal for the French under-21s, and it could be sending them on the way to the semi-finals. Such a simple set piece. Upamecano pulling away from Calvin Stengs, free header in the end. Nobody on the far post for the Dutch. And Bilal, having made such a great save, was left powerless. Andrea Upamecano, who was already scored for the French senior side, has his first goal at this level, and it's a very important one for France. And the Netherlands have not been behind in the tournament so far. They gave up leads in their first two games to draw 1-1 against both Romania and Germany. They were always very comfortable against Hungary. They scored the opening goal, eventually winning 6-1, but this really is a step up in class. Here is Diaby. Last year again, defending really well and earning the free kick as Akone made the challenge. Are we? Upamecano, one of the players who has been brought back into the French side. Not needed for the senior team at the European Championship. Jules Koundé, the player who has made the step up initially. Kluivert winning the corner. The final touch was off Kalulu. What can the Netherlands do from their corner here? Played short. And the crossing was deflected. Upamecano winning another very important header. And Konate. Upamecano's clearance deflected into the path of Schurz, but in the end, the Dutch making rather heavy weather of that, and Montenegro is halted by Sven Botman, but France never comfortable with a 1-0 lead, but they are in control of this game at the moment. Upamecano. Soumare. Wassa. Upamecano. Clever turn again from Soumare. Diaby. Upamecano. Aouar. Tese. Winning the ball back initially from Muassa, and he was then fouled. And there is plenty of edge out there, because this is a really big game for both sides. And for a number of players who may possibly believe they should be in their senior squads for the European Championship, there's a chance to maybe make a point. Kluivert caught by Kalulu. Van der Looy has one or two things to address here. Preventing Malassia's charges forward down the Dutch left will be something that Sylvain Ripoll will be looking for a side to deal with. Kadıoğlu challenged by Sharmani. Malassia is a player who has been around the Feyenoord first team for some time. But he made his most appearances on. Well by Hawi. Wadu, Stengs, Kluivert down the centre, but it's wide towards Teze. Now Stengs. The deflection on the cross will allow Akone to bring the ball clear. Kadıoğlu unable to make the challenge. Akone using his pace, he's got Diaby in support. And it's defended well by Botman in the end. Here is Stengs. Teze. Schurz, player who is now a regular in the Ajax first team, as they picked up another title this season. And Edouard has been used as a decoy for pretty much the whole game so far. Player who was the top goal scorer for France during the qualifiers, scoring 11 goals. Also came up with a very cheeky chip in the match against Iceland. A penalty in France's second game of the group against Russia. Teze's cross. Kone's clearance up rather than away. Iwasa unable to deal with it initially. Are we convinced he should have had the throw in, but the officials were right. And the big name players brought back into the squad by Sylvain Ripoll are justifying their inclusion for France at the moment. Iwasa. Aouar. Here is Edouard. Diaby. Kalulu on the overlap. But it's clipped in towards Aouar. And he just lifts it too high, but it was terrific movement there from the French. Wassim Aouar making that run in from midfield. He was onside in between Schurz and Botman, but as the ball dropped over his shoulder, it was just sent over the crossbar. But the Dutch were opened up there very easily. France with more attempts on goal now. Couple on target, of course. One of those was the goal, the other one forced an excellent save from Justin Bijlow. Diaby. Edouard. Link up with Akone, but covered by Hawi. Schurz. Now Teze. David. Scored 10 goals in the qualification. The Dutch were the top scorers overall with 46. But it took them until the third game of the group stage to really cut loose. They created plenty of chances against both Romania and Germany, but failed to put those games away. The bit. Karagoglu. Kluivert. Malacia was looking to overlap, but Kluivert instead finds Hawi. Taze. Stengs. Covered well by Aouar. Schurz. De Wit. France here are very well organised when they don't have the ball, so as a result the Netherlands are having to work very hard to try and prize them open. They have much more joy working through the wide areas. Here is Edouard, he was unlucky. Schurz. Now Taze. Well, Taze and Malacia have been the main source of danger for the Dutch in many ways so far. Stengs. And De Wit was making that run from midfield, but it was comfortable for Meslier, who has not really had a shot to save so far. Aouar. France failed to qualify for this tournament between 2006, when they lost to the Netherlands in the semi-finals, and 2019. They were beaten by the eventual winners Spain in the semi-finals 2 years ago, but they've done enough to qualify for the Olympics in Tokyo later this year. And their one success came in 1988, when it was a different format, a two-leg competition right to the end. Eric Cantona was their match winner in the semi-final against England, with 3 goals across the tie. Paul Gascoigne came up with one in response, as Houssem Aouar is fouled here. Danny De Wit needs to be careful on a yellow card. Sylvain Ripoll will know this game is not won yet. Kone is over the free kick. Scored 7 times in Lille's title success this season. Kone's delivery. That's good goalkeeping from Bilal. Upamecano and Konate were waiting for it. Kluivert again had the opportunity to isolate Kalulu, but the ball for Malacia was not precise enough. Edouard. A bit going to ground, but winning the ball this time. Botman. The Netherlands are missing the guile of Tom Koopmeiners and Cody Gakpo from their midfield, both called up by Frank de Boer for the senior squad. Stengs. Teze just scored on the wrong side. As Mawasa wins it back. Upamecano. David. Malacia. Once again, he's done well to evade Diaby. David. Boadu. And it was Malacia who was looking to career into the penalty area, but it was a good challenge from Konate. Howie. Teze. Calvin Stengs has been well policed after his early effort for the Netherlands. Now they're giving the ball away. Tchouaméni. A bit again. Maybe thought about the challenge and then thought better of it. Now he does make the challenge, and Tchouaméni has gone down and no free kick has been given. And De Vic continues. Stengs. Malacia. The Dutch have created very little since the goal. Teze. Now Schürrle. Striding away from Aouar. That's an excellent ball. Here is Kluivert. And it's blazed over the top. And there is a look towards the assistant, but there was no flag. And that was a glorious chance for the Netherlands to restore parity. Would have been a tight call, but Kluivert was well found on the edge of the penalty area. He knows. Well, Justin Kluivert found goals very difficult to come by for Leipzig this season. Only 3 goals in 19 games in the Bundesliga. Not much in the game in terms of possession, but Dayot Upamecano with the most significant moment so far. Kalulu has the free kick. Challenged by Malacia. There is no doubt which Dutch player has been heaviest involved so far. Upamecano. Luasa. Samade. Stengs. Howie. Support from Teze. Plenty forward here for the Dutch, but once again, the French are smothering the situation very well. Here is Howie, forced all the way back. And that will delight Sylvain Ripoll. Teze. Quickly forward, looking for Boadu, who has been quiet in the game so far. Upamecano wants the free kick, but did manage the clearance. Now Howie, beyond Mawasa, but Tchouaméni comes back to make the challenge and also gets the free kick. And there is just a sense of frustration here for the Netherlands. Guado did have hold of Upamecano's arm. There was no free kick there, but there was when Tchouaméni won the ball back from Howie and was then caught by the follow-through. This time, Konate is the player who is penalised. Malacia. De Bit on the stretch, but he's maintained possession. Kalagoglu. Kalagoglu once again. Kluivert. There will be a minimum of 2 more minutes at the end of the first half, which has been entertaining at times. De Bit. Kalagoglu coming short again. Zeze. Stengs. Diaby doing really well to hamper his progress, just switching over to the French left-hand side, and that movement was very well timed. Aouar. Aouar's ball forward, met by Kalulu. Kone. Dlamini. Iwasa has picked out Aouar. This time both De Bit and Schurz were very close to him. Upamecano. The game is still in the balance as we head towards half-time, with the Dutch showing they do have the ability to open up this French side. Taken down superbly by Diaby. He then takes down Howie. The Netherlands have a free kick. Not the most difficult decision for Senia Mariani to make. And that is half-time. Dayot Upamecano with the game's most significant moment, thundering in a corner to give France the lead. Justin Kluivert missing a great chance for the Netherlands, and at half-time it is the Netherlands 0, France 1. And welcome back to Budapest. France emerged for the second half, leading by a goal to nil in this UEFA Euro Under-21 Championship quarter-final. Dayot Upamecano scoring the only goal. Thumping header. His first for the Under-21s. And the longer the first half went on, the more of a threat that France began to look, and they are smiling at the moment, and they are 45 minutes away from the semi-finals. Dani De Wit, the one player booked in the first half by Maurizio Mariani. France get the second half underway, closing in on a semi-final at the UEFA Under-21 Championships. Justin Bijlow made an outstanding save in the first half, but he was powerless to stop Dayot Upamecano's goal from the resulting corner. And France in all blue, heading towards a semi-final meeting with either Denmark or Germany. They play later on today, all four quarter-finals taking place. The semi-finals will be on Thursday, and the final in Ljubljana on Sunday. Pierre Kalulu, who came on for the injured Colin Dagba early on in the game, won back well by Kadioglu. Kluivert will chase, and he's done well to avoid the goal kick. Ibrahima Konate has been commanding presence at the heart of the French defence so far. Kalulu and Tchouameni. The Dutch convinced they should have had the throw-in, but Kalulu will get another opportunity. The stadium named after the legendary Josip Bozic, player who won 5 league titles with Honvéd and was also part of the Hungarian team which won the so-called match of the century against England at Wembley back in 1953, when the magical Magyars won 6-3, and Bozic was among the goal scorers, along with players like Puskás and Hidegkuti. And this will be a fine home for Honvéd when they take up residence following this tournament. Are we? And now Botman. The Dutch were the better side in the opening 15 minutes or so, but gradually France took a grip on the game. Again winning the ball back. Myron Boado has had very little opportunity, and the confidence there from Illan Meslier to execute the Cruyff turn against the Dutch. Diaby. Now Kalulu. And that's good covering from Kadioglu. And Meslier clearly not short of confidence. Myron Boado almost having to pay to get back into the stadium. Mouassa. Now Aouar. Mouassa again, but he's quickly closed down. Here is Stengs, who had the best opportunities for the Dutch in the first half, although Justin Kluivert also sent a shot skyward when well placed. Botman. Malacia. That's a good ball. Boado. Stengs. Creating the angle for Teze. Three were looking for the early cross, but here is Howie. De Wit. Once again, the element of surprise from the Dutch has rather disappeared in this attack, but here is Malacia. Kadioglu. And it was blocked by Konate. Howie. And it was blocked by Boado, who fires the ball in, and the Dutch are level. Myron Boado in the right place at the right time. Everything seemed to stop inside the French penalty area. But Boado played to the officials, and it's 1-1. Kadioglu with the initial effort, then Howie. And Boado was level, he was onside. And although Meslier partially blocked the shot, it was sent spinning into the roof of the net. Howie's shot inadvertently picking out his teammate, and he found the back of the net. There was a long look towards the assistant, but the goal has been given. Myron Boado, who scored 8 times in qualification and was also on the score sheet as well during the 6-1 win against Hungary. And the Dutch really needed a break, and it was delivered there. And it was Feitu Mouassa who was looking to push out for offside, but Boado was level, and the goal has been given. No VAR in this championship. And the French must start again. Kadioglu. Now Botman. Malacia. Now De Wit. And if it stays like this, we would have extra time, and there was also the potential of penalties. Now Aouar. And the shot from Mouassa, turned aside by Bilo. And it's a corner in the end, and Feitu Mouassa looking to make up for his role in the Dutch goal with an effort at the other end, and Justin Bilo again showing what a fine goalkeeper he is. Diaby's corner. That's claimed very well by Bilo. Spent much of the season on the sidelines due to injury, and then found it difficult to regain his place at Feyenoord. Kalulu, one back by De Wit. Bernate almost turning into trouble. Now only finding De Wit. He's having an increasing influence on the game, but Kalulu rising to deny Malacia there. Now Akone. Moasa. Awa. Sumare. Chameni. Akone. Upamecano spreading the play. Here is Moasa again. And the cross is deflected behind. And whatever Sylvain Ripoll said at half-time, it's now been rendered fairly irrelevant by that Dutch goal. Upamecano is looking to provide the movement once again, but it was guided away by Schurz. Awa. Akone. Moasa. Now Awa. Stengs can bring the ball clear. He's looking for Guado and he's found him. Kalulu has been isolated. Diaby coming back to try and help out, but Guado was strong enough to ride the challenge. Stengs, and the shot from Hawi is wayward. Well, it's the Dutch who are in the ascendancy at the moment, and the ability of Myron Guado beginning to cause issues. The shot from Hawi was wayward. Sumare. Now Akone. Face of Diaby ahead of him. Malacia doing well initially. Edouard unable to recover the loose ball, and that was defended very well. Upamecano, though, was too strong for Kluivert. And then can't find Akone. Guado. Kluivert. Chameni. Awa. Sumare. Diaby has had very few opportunities to use his pace since half-time. Cut out by Kadioglu. And the free kick given for the challenge by Upamecano on Kluivert. Two club mates this season who will be heading their separate ways over the summer. Bilal going longer this time. Guado again winning the header. Here is Stengs. Kadioglu in support. Kluivert wants it on the edge of the area, but it's wider to Teze. Guado. Teze. Now Boadu, Kadioglu with the touch, and it was a very clever one, but nobody was able to read it, and Kalulu stepping in before Meslier. And this was very neatly done. All it needed was somebody arriving late. Double change for the French. Boubakary Soumaré is replaced by Maxence Caqueret. Romain Fabre
number 19
coming on for Moussa Diaby. So Sylvain Ripoll looking to change up his attacking options.
Number 20, Boubakary Soumaré is being replaced by
Romain Fabre was a regular during the group stage. Maxime Caqueret was brought in after not featuring back in March. 3 changes made by the French already. Schürrle. Now Botman. Kadioglu. Malacia. Going shoulder to shoulder with Kalulu again, and this time it's Malacia who has the problem, and he'll require treatment. It was his challenge which led to the early withdrawal of Colin Dagba. Maybe the hamstring which has gone, or possibly the contact there. Kalulu just heading into the back of the hamstring, which would be painful. Looks to be an impact injury rather than a strain. This is the opening goal for the French, scored by Dayot Upamecano. Very good movement and very well directed. And then Abdou Hawi's shot, finding Myron Boadu, and he made the most of the opportunity. The French were left appealing for offside, but there was no flag. A player who scored 15 times for AZ in the Eredivisie this season, scoring once again in this tournament. Malacia looks okay to continue. Cut out quickly by Hawi. Here is Stengs. Now De Witt. Teze ahead of him. Malacia. Boadu not finding Kluivert this time. Caqueret though only picks out Teze. Stengs. Wide to Kadioglu. Kadioglu's got space and he looks to curl it, but it was always heading some way over. But Ferdi Kadioglu has really stepped up for the Dutch in the second half. He was their deepest lying player at times during the opening 45 minutes, but he's a lot closer to Boadu and Kluivert now. Fabre. And Kalulu. Kadioglu with the challenge. And the French grip on the midfield has now been loosened. Romain Fabre. And Malacia looks to be okay. Wilson Edouard has barely had a pass in the attacking third. Kalulu, challenged by Kluivert, quickly runs out of room. Dutch were looking for a free kick there as Kadioglu claims he was pushed by Konate, but nothing given. Teze. Upamecano stepping in ahead of Meslier. Kalulu. Konate's ball forward. Very clever turn by Akone. And the French here have possibilities. Akone's shot is blocked, but he's there again. He's hit the post. And incredibly the Dutch escape. Aouar straight to Howie. And how on earth did the French not score there? Jonathan Akone will be wondering for sure. But the Dutch were opened up so easily down their left-hand side, but Akone unable to make the most of it. Moassa. Chameni. Edouard. Lost out to Schurz and then fouled him. But Akone there was much too clever for Sven Botman. Streaked into the area. The initial shot was blocked by Schurz, and then the rebound coming off the post. And the Dutch enjoying a real slice of good luck. Here is Akone again, though. He's found Aouar, but he's offside. And no doubting that decision. The semi-final for one of these sides is on Thursday, so they will be keen to avoid extra time. Vila's clearance will give the ball straight back. Caqueret was held back by Kluivert. Maxence Caqueret was not involved in the initial group stage. Justin Kluivert was shown the yellow card there for the shirt pull. Very good use of the body from Akone to create the space for Romain Fabre. He can't find Kalulu though. It's been a really good battle between Kalulu and Malacia, and the Dutch player has edged it so far. Here is Kadioglu, but he can't win the ball back, and now Teze fouling Aouar, and the game becoming very stretched. Caqueret's challenge on Kadioglu, but nothing was given there, but it was a good deal more clear-cut. And Teze caught Aouar. Caqueret. Fabre. Upamecano. Konate. Tchouaméni. Eze was confident enough to engage Aouar and come away with the ball, and he's found Stengs. Kluivert down the centre. Clever touch from Kluivert, but he was crowded out in the end. Good challenge from Konate. No hint of a penalty. Kluivert knew exactly where he wanted the ball. He was too smart for Kalulu initially, but then Konate took the ball cleanly. Wadu allowing the ball to run, and Kluivert doesn't get the free kick. Fabe. Now Akone looking for Edouard, but well policed by Botman. Kadioglu. Malacia. Another good ball from him. Wadu. Stengs. And this quarter-final really on the knife edge here. Malacia. Botman. Now Kluivert. Heavy touch from Stengs, but Kluivert looks to make something of it. Fabe. Now Tchouaméni. Lovely touch. Ikone. Aouar deep into the penalty area, and Justin Bilal does just enough. Tchouaméni there with a real awareness of what was around him. Aouar looking to go beyond Teze, but Bilal's trailing hand getting the job done. Fabre will take the corner. The outswinger once again, but it's dealt with comfortably by Schürrle. Mawasa. Caqueret drifting away from the challenges. Tchouaméni! Bilal was right behind it. And Maxence Caqueret with some elusive running before that. Beyond Howie and then De Wit, and Tchouaméni's shot well struck, but too close to the goalkeeper. Malacia, and he was crunched into by Fabre. And the Dutch have a free kick. The players on both sides now really showing how much this game means. It's been given away. Here is Aouar. Odsonne Edouard ahead of him. Ikone waits on the edge of the area. Aouar, though, has support from Mawasa, but in the end, a lack of communication. And the match has really opened up. Malacia. Wadu. The free kick given for handball by Kalulu. Here was the earlier opportunity, and Boassa was onside, but in the end, an opening for the French comes to nothing. All 5 of the French goals so far in the tournament have come in the first half of games, and they are going to have to buck that trend or rely on a penalty shootout here. Charmeni cleverly away from Hawi. But the shot thunders into Verschuurs. Aurélien Charmeni has been the player offering the drive from midfield for France in the closing stages. Armin Godiri of Nice will be coming on soon, and it's Odsonne Edouard, the player he replaces. And Edouard has really been on the periphery of the game throughout. Godiri scored 12 goals for Nice in Ligue 1 this season. Konate. Bellier's clearance is met by Teze. Charmeni. Aouar. Godiri. He featured on a regular basis for the French during the group stage. There's been much more movement and intent from the Dutch attacking trio than the French since the equalising goal. We've seen moments of individual brilliance from France, but the Dutch have been a more cohesive unit. Godiri. That's a Dutch throw-in. Extra time is looming here in Budapest. And Tyrell Malacia is the player who is struggling once again. One or two weary bodies out there. Mitchell Bakker is the player who comes on. He was the regular left-back during the group stage. And Malacia's had a fine game, and he has certainly left everything out there. And Ferdi Kadioglu has also been replaced by Ezor Matosiwa. And here's an opportunity for Aouar, but he slashes at it and it's too high. And from the throw-in, the Dutch gave the ball away very cheaply, and Aouar had to take it quickly as the orange shirts converged on him.
Substitutions for Netherlands. Number 6,
Ruben van der Looy going to his bench for the first time. Matosiwa is currently with Groningen, having come through the Ajax Academy, and Mitchell Bakker also started in Amsterdam but has been a regular for Paris Saint-Germain this season. Aouar. He could be the key man for the French in the closing stages. Beyond Kone. Bakker's challenge on Charmeni, and the French have the throw-in. Kalulu. Kakare. Upamecano. Rosset is dealt with by Schurz. Kakare. Goriri. He was helped on looking for Aouar. Upamecano. Now Shalmeni. Kluivert coming back to make the challenge, and he may have hurt himself. Same goes for Shalmeni. Players from both sides are down, and players been stopped, and it's cramped the issue for Justin Kluivert. Heavy fall for Aurélien Tchouaméni. Both players are back to their feet, but beginning to show signs of wear and tear late in the game. They will restart with a drop ball. Now Teze. Botman. Good lead from Tchouaméni. Fev. Now Tchouaméni again. Kalulu making the run forward. Goriri waits. And the corner kick is conceded by Schurz. Goal now, and a semi-final place is so close for either side. Upamecano was forward once again. The Netherlands very aware of his danger. Favourite's corner, Bilal punching, returned by Kakare, and Goriri got his header all wrong. Here is Aouar. Kakare. Fabe. Upamecano was still forward along with Konate, and now they will have to get back because the Dutch can break. It's Bradu down the centre. Good covering though from Iwasa. Meslier has had long spells in the game with nothing to do, but both goalkeepers could yet be the heroes of this game. Kakare. Now Iwasa. That's a very good ball. Goriri. Two wait for the cross. It's beyond Aouar and cut out by Botman, with Akone looking to apply the finishing touch. Tchouaméni. Goriri. Kalulu. Fave. Upamecano. Goriri. Cuts out well by Botman. Stengs. He almost found Boadu, but it was good covering from Upamecano. Caqueret, Kalulu, Upamecano, Namuasa. French finishing 90 minutes strongly, but it's gathered by Bilal. The previous meeting between these two nations in the finals went to extra time, and we are heading for a similar scenario here. On that occasion, the Dutch were 2 goals up. The French came back before a late winner in Braga. Caqueret. Guderi just losing out at the crucial moment, and there is fresh attacking talent on the field for France with extra time in mind. Netherlands are penalised for a foul throw. That could be a costly error at this stage. Mitchell Bakker, the player who was guilty. And now a corner kick has been awarded. Bakker's challenge on Akone. Corner is played short. Here is Akone, not picked up. Schurz was in the way, and the Dutch have just lost their defensive composure for a moment. Caqueret, Aouar, and the cross in looking for Akone, cleared as far as Fab. Kalulu, Caqueret, Favre, looking to weave his way through, but Bakker is able to recover and clear, but the Netherlands hanging on for extra time at the moment. Caqueret. Aouar. Shalmeni. Kalulu. Konate. The Dutch struggling to get a touch here, but now they will. And here is Boadu. Kluivert ahead of him, but the ball was poor. And that could have been the chance for the Netherlands to win it. Fab. Now Caqueret. And Guderi gets the throw in. And we are inside the final 2 minutes of normal time. Kalulu. Shalmeni. It's another corner. And the French here pushing hard for the winning goal. It could be a mistake or something special to win this game now. Corner into the 6-yard area. Met well by Botman. Here is Caqueret, and he's unable to link up with Guderi. It's a goal kick, and we are into the 90th minute. Well, if there is going to be a winner now, it will be a dramatic one. Boadu. Straight to Kakare. Here is Mouassa. Meslier has been beaten by the shot from Myron Boadu, but has had very little to do apart from that. Mouassa skating away from the initial challenge. Aouar in support. You'll find Shalmeni. Fave with the cross delivered, and the header is too high. Houssem Aouar once again. Well, he has had the chances to win the game for France. And as we enter added time, Mouassa striding clear of Hawi, and then the cross in from Shalmeni. And our goal side of Teze, but the header was too high. Agony for him. And the Dutch here just looking to cling on and regroup. Kakare, Shalmeni, now Baka, Kluivert, he's found Stengs, but it's quickly recovered by Hawi. Baka with a lot to do, but he's won the ball ahead of Kalulu, but there was nothing behind the cross. And now the French look to break. Ikone. Upamecano striding forward. Support left and right. He's found Vavra. He can pick the finish, but he can't. Bilal again with a routine save. Upamecano clearly keen to avoid extra time with that buccaneering run forward. Now it's the Dutch's turn to attack. De Wit. No free kick. Fab. Kakare. He has run the game since coming on. Shalmeni. Upamecano. A minute away from extra time. Shalmeni. Upamecano. Here is Kalulu, needs to be a good cross. Abila was right behind it. Here is Stengs. Quickly forward for Kluivert, he is onside. Boadu waits in the centre. Myron Boadu wins the game for the Netherlands. It is brilliant orange all the way to the semi-finals. What a moment for the Dutch. Sylvain Ripoll and the French are heading out. Caught on the break, Kluivert with the assist, and Boadu with his second, keeping his calm under pressure to guide the ball over Meslier. And there is barely time for the game to restart. And it's the Netherlands who are heading into the semi-finals. Joy and relief for Owen van der Looy. What drama right at the end in Budapest. Myron Boadu, the hero in the second half, scoring that goal with 2 seconds of added time to play. Real drama right at the very end. And the French, who dominated the closing stages, caught out on the breakaway. Can they create one final chance for themselves here? That is it, and the Dutch are through. What a remarkable finish. Myron Boadu, the hero. His 2 goals in the second half have sent the Netherlands through. The French dominated the closing stages, but despite the goal from Dayot Upamecano, they are denied a place in the last 4. What drama! The Netherlands 2, France 1.